The school board meeting will begin in 2 minutes. Please take your seats. Again, the school board meeting will begin in 2 minutes. The school board meeting will begin in 1 minute. Please take your seats. Again, the school board meeting will begin in 1 minute.
Good Monday morning, everyone. The November 27th, 2023 meeting of the Marion County School Board is called to order. Mirroring and modeling the way our students begin each day, I ask that we observe a moment of silence at this time. Please join me. Thank you. I'll now read our board commitment statement. We are the Marion County School District Leadership Team. When we come together to work, we are efficient, effective, and productive. Our three most important characteristics are dedicated, transparent, and individually responsible. To work well together, we must demonstrate respect, confront reality, and be accountable. We will always put students first, and we will leave a legacy of success. For the courtesy of those listening to the meeting, I am requesting everyone in the audience to please turn off their electronic devices or put them on vibrate. Later in the meeting, up to 30 minutes will be provided for individuals to address the board on matters concerning the operation of the Marion County school system or the school board only. Presentations to the board are limited to 5 minutes and are televised. If you wish to address the board regarding a regular agenda item or matters on which the board customarily takes action, you must first complete a peach form located in the lobby. If you wish to address the board regarding a public hearing or a student discipline matter, please complete a lime green form. These forms must be fully completed and received by the board clerk no later than 9:10 a.m. The procedures applicable for each are on a separate sheet. Board clerk, please call the roll. Good morning, Ms. Martinez.
Good morning. Dr. Allison Campbell, District 1.
Here.
Mrs. Lori Conrad, District 2.
Here.
Mr. Eric Cummings, District 3.
Here.
Mrs. Nancy Thrower, District 4.
Here.
Dr. Sarah James, District 5.
Here.
Dr. Diane Gullett, Superintendent.
Here.
Mr. Jeremy Powers, School Board Attorney.
Here.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, Dr. Gullett. Would you like to make a recommendation on the agenda?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Yes, I will. Thank you. Good morning, board members. I recommend approval of the agenda for the November 27th, 2023 school board meeting with the materials in the board packet, those materials distributed to board members at the meeting, and the audio recording included as part of the official record of the meeting, with the exception of item D8.1 that has been placed under discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the superintendent's recommendation?
So move.
Moved by Board Member Cummings. Second by Vice Chair Conrad. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Ms. Martinez, would you please provide the proof of publication?
The notice for the November 27th, 2023 special board meeting ran in the Ocala Gazette on November 17th, 2023. The proof of publication has been attached in board docs under proof of publication.
Thank you. I will now ask the school board's attorney to explain the rules governing persons who wish to address the school board today. Good morning, Attorney Powers.
Good morning, thank you. In compliance with Section 286.0114 of Florida statutes, the school board has adopted uniform procedures for public speakers who wish to speak at this morning's meeting, either regarding one of today's agenda items or a matter relating to the operations of the school district. These procedures will ensure the public has a reasonable opportunity to be heard on school board and school district matters. A written summary of these procedures is available from the table in the lobby. Public speaker forms are also located on the same table. The completed forms were due to the school board's clerk no later than 9:10 a.m. This morning's speakers will be called prior to the business portion of the school board's meeting in order of the receipt by the school board's clerk. Before you begin speaking, please state your full name for the record and spell your last name. Each speaker will have 5 minutes of time. However, if there are more than 5 persons who wish to speak, the board may seek consensus to limit each speaker's time to 3 minutes. When the speaker has 1 minute remaining, the speaker will receive a visual notice to complete his or her comments. Speakers may not yield their time to other people. Speakers and meeting attendees are expected to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Therefore, verbal attacks and profanity are strictly prohibited. Pursuant to the procedures for public comments, item 6, speakers are not to identify specific individuals other than themselves or their child, unless a statement is provided 24 hours in advance. The board is here to listen to your comments only. You may be directed to an administrative staff member following the conclusion of your comments for further assistance to address your concerns. If there are matters dealing with student discipline, including expulsions, they will be scheduled at the conclusion of the televised portion of this meeting. Parents may address the board regarding a discipline matter at that time. To ensure student privacy, only a parent or guardian may use a student's first or last name. Identifying references to or identification of other students or their families are also strictly prohibited. A speaker's speech does not reflect the endorsement, sponsorship, position, or expression of the school district. Thank you for your attention to the board's requirements. Madam Chair, that concludes my explanatory remarks.
Thank you, Attorney Powers. Ms. Martinez, do we have any speakers this morning?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Therefore, we'll go ahead and move forward. May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items C7.1 through C7.3, with the exception of items D8.1 that has been placed under discussion. May I have a motion?
To approve.
Motion by Vice Chair Conrad.
Second.
Second by Board Member Campbell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to discussion items. May I have a motion to approve the non-represented salary and wage schedules for 2023-2024 fiscal year?
So move.
Moved by Board Member Cummings.
Second.
Second by Board Member James. Is there any discussion on this item?
I do. I would
Board
like
Member
to say
Campbell.
some. Thank you, Chair. This one, I had some conversation with the team about. I know we each individually were briefed on this item. I first want to say I'll be voting in favor of it, but I wanted to at least express my concerns publicly. There were a couple of items within this. Because this impacts hundreds of people, it's impossible to pull out certain categories of people, but I wanted it to be known and made known that there are several positions that just got significant increases because they just received title changes. And with those significant increases, we're talking $7,000 to $10,000 increases, and now we're adding another 3% raise on top of that just within a couple of months later. And that frankly bothered me. But because of the way we have to do this all at one time with one motion per se, there's no way to single out or to pull out specific categories or specific job titles. My hope is that as we do this salary study that we're currently underway with, that we'll be able to really get this under control in a way that is just helpful overall. The other thing I wanted to note is this is just a little bit more than what we had budgeted for. I understand it was the recommendation from the staff and the team, I shouldn't say the staff, I should say from Dr. Gullett's team, to go with the increases that we are approving here today. But it is almost $50,000 more than what we had budgeted. So with that being said, I am going to vote in favor of it, but I think it is important as we are fiscally responsible board members to make note of those things that definitely have caused me concern in voting for this. But because of the hundreds of people that it will be impacting positively, it's impossible to not vote in favor of it. So that's all I had to say, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Board Member Campbell. Is there any other discussion? Board Member James.
Thank you. So one of the things that I even brought up when I met with Ms. Boston-Ellis and Ms. Morant was my goal would be to, which sounds insurmountable in the moment, but to have separate schedules and everything for each individual person, because I even think giving all secretaries the same blanket raise is not necessarily reflective of the different level of work that individuals do. So if you've been at a school, that confidential secretary at a school is doing different work, but also so tremendously time-consuming work than a secretary maybe for a district office. And so I would love to see us get to a place where we are able to separate things and have more clear discussions about what one group of individuals' work should reflect versus another. But I also want to say, while I've always worked in the public education sector, my family spent lots of time in the private sector, and countless times an individual has gotten a new job which came with a pay raise, and then their raise at the end of their year for their performance before. So I'm not in disagreement with people getting an increased job title, which has increased responsibility in addition to a pay raise. I personally have nothing wrong with that. I think that it's just important to give people raises that are earned and are deliverable to a specific set of individuals. So I would love to get a place where we can separate it some, and it's not so blanket, because blanket to me does not take into an appreciation for the individual job that people do. So that's just my personal note on that. But I also wanted to mention the title for Chief Academic Officer is on this pay scale, but that's not the title, I don't think, unless I'm wrong. I think we have a different title now, right? So does that matter? I don't know if it matters or not, but I just wanted to bring it up.
Ms. Morant's going to come forward. Good morning.
Good morning. I can speak to that. So that job description or that position has not come before the board. So the official position right now is still Chief Academic Officer.
Okay.
So we will have to bring the salary schedule back again once that position or that JD has come before you for approval.
Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to bring it up. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Board Member James. Is there any other discussion? Okay, I'll just share my gratitude for the tremendous work that Employment Services is continuing to do to begin to bring and modernize all of these job descriptions and all of the workflow. I too agree that when it comes to individual employees, you know, in in an organization of our size, it can be, it's certainly a lot easier to put them into classifications. However, I think it's very important over time with this salary study to be sensitive to the specific set of performance expectations. Because as Board Member James just shared and Board Member Campbell in different ways, the responsibilities of a job look very different, oftentimes depending on your work location. And I've always been a big believer in asking the folks that are doing the work, what do you do all day? And it can be a real eye-opener. There's so many people in our district that are doing so much more on a daily basis than anyone would be aware of until they leave. And then it's like, oh, I didn't realize they did all that. So that, in my mind, would be good to make sure that we're aware of that and also make sure that people are compensated accordingly. So I'm really glad that we're doing this salary study. That has not been done since about when, Dr. Gullett?
I don't know when it was ever done, Chair.
Okay. All righty then.
I
Well,
haven't heard we've had one. There may have been one, but I have not been provided a date that we've had one done.
okay, so not in recent memory, and that is great. That is just another example of this district, moving forward and really making the right things happen for the right reasons. I don't have anything else to share, so if no other board member does, at this point, I think we're ready to vote. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, we're going to move on to board committee reports and concerns. I'll start with a few meeting reminders. The next administrative briefing and work session has been scheduled for December 7th, 2023 at 9 a.m. The next school board meeting has been scheduled for December 12th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. And then another special school board meeting has been scheduled for December 18th, 2023 at 8 a.m. So make sure you mark your calendars. We'll be starting at 8 a.m. rather than the typical 9. All right, we'll go ahead and start with Ms. Martinez. Anything from your seat?
Board members, for your stay coming up, please make sure that when you do check out, you do request a receipt. Make sure that it has a zero balance and that your card was not applied to any incidentals. Also, 4 of you will be going up to seat today, and then Sarah James is the only one, Dr. James will be the only one for the 28th.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and I'll be checking in rather late because we have a community meeting. So there's no limit on what time I can check in, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Attorney Powers, anything from legal?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Dr. Gullett?
Good morning again. Just briefly, I want to provide an update on our impact fee discussion since we last met. Members of my staff met with members of the City of Ocala staff and Marion County government staff, and so Ms. Stebbick's going to come forward. Included in that meeting was also Benish to help lead and answer questions that have been coming up in our recent meetings. So Ms. Stebbick's going to provide an update from her attendance at that meeting. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, board members, and thank you, Dr. Gullett. Yes, on November 15th, school district staff met with City of Ocala staff along with county staff and Benish. And the purpose of the conversation was to discuss the City of Ocala's request and what data has been collected and what data has not been collected. Throughout the conversation, the discussion led to Benish has worked with the city on some previous studies that were based in square footage. Upon this conversation about the square footage, Benish commented that to meet the city's request, it could be done, and they actually recommended square footage over bedrooms. Benish has done square footage tiers for the multifamily category before, and both Marion County and the City of Ocala were in favor of this. So they are agreeable to an additional analysis based on square footage of multifamily apartments as opposed to bedroom count. What Benish would do is use property appraiser data, which is consistent across the county, to capture this for both the city and the county. They would not know until the analysis is conducted how many tiers that would be offered, but if they moved forward with this study, we would know at that point. I do also want to mention that Benish has worked with another school district, In that particular school district, which was Seminole County, the development community had concerns about the fairness of impact fee costs. They were getting a lot of requests for the alternative fee studies. So the solution was to do an expanded category of multifamily to include tiers of square footage. So that worked for them in Seminole County. If the board decides to go this route, Benish could have an updated study back to us by the end of January, and the cost would be around $6,000. At this time, yes, are there any questions?
Sounds good.
I think we're getting closer.
Okay, so just to clarify, we have consensus to work with Benish to do this additional study for $6,000 to expand multifamily apartments to tiers for square footage, correct?
I would say that it's important to honor Benish's recommendation. And I'm glad that we're getting to this point. I never expected that it would take this long, but it's been a journey, and I think that I'll say personally, I've learned a lot from it, and I like the direction that we're going. I like that the county and the city are both on board, and hopefully, we'll be able to get it back at the end of January, as you stated, and do what we all know we really need to do for our district. And I appreciate the support of our community partners in this very much.
Chair?
Yes.
And she can do it with a head nod. Ms. Boston Ellis, I'm assuming this $6,000 will just come out of general fund. So every time we just added another $50,000 that are coming out of general fund, or essentially $48,000 on that bonus, not bonuses, but salary increases that we just approved. And so here's another $6,000 out of general fund.
If I may, we do have the option of using reimbursement to the school board for costs of developing, implementing, and updating the study from impact fees. So we could use the monies collected from impact fees to pay for this.
Okay, that would be my recommendation.
Sounds like a plan.
That would absolutely, so thank you for that. So if we have consensus to move forward with that, that would be wonderful. So we're not pulling out a general fund. I think that would be a recommendation I would make. My other question is just to say, does Attorney Powers have anything to weigh in on this conversation at all? I'm not sure if you were a part of this meeting with Ms. Debick, but you've been so instrumental in guiding us legally on the direction we should go, and just wanted to get your feedback if there was anything.
Thank you. Yeah, there are multiple ways to go about it in the way that makes all parties happy, provided that it ends up being a legally permissible product, is perfectly fine. But there are multiple ways to do it. My only question really would be with doing it in this manner, with the costs. Is Benish going to calculate a new end number? The student generation rates are going to be different when they do this. So is the total cost, are we going to have to go through another iteration of do we reduce to 40%? Do we cap it at 60%? What do we do? Are they going to calculate a new number based on their new data?
My understanding is the only part that will change will be the additional tiers for the multifamily apartments, and those will be the new numbers, not the overall study.
So it would not encompass square footage considerations for single-family residents?
Correct.
Or for any of those?
Correct. Square footage would only be for multifamily apartments. And we'll know those categories once they start to do the analysis, how many of those there will be.
And both Benesh and the county and the city, all three, Benesh County and city, all seem to be on board with not doing that kind of analysis for single-family residents?
Correct.
Okay.
Good, because that has been our sticking point all along. And again, I'm glad to see that we're doing our best to work through this in a way that ends up with a satisfactory, legally defensible outcome that everyone is comfortable with, at least mostly, and will get behind and push, because that's what we need. So thank you very much for your good work on this, Dr. Gullett. It's your recommendation then that we absorb the $6,000 and pay for it through the impact fees? that we
Yes,
actually collect?
yes, that's correct.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, moving on to other board members. Board Member Campbell.
Thank you. I hope everyone had a restful Thanksgiving holiday and definitely had the opportunity to be grateful and thankful for all the blessings that we have. Also grateful to the team on moving forward with the impact fees. At this point, we don't know yet if we will need a supermajority, because once we have the new calculations on multifamily, then the board will have to have conversation as to if we're adopting at 100% of the recommendation at multifamily, I guess, because it'll be a whole new category and a whole new everything. And then that'll be a different conversation that this board will have to have if we are going to adopt across the board at 40% and then, or at another calculation number. So it in some ways, it feels like we're so close to the finish line, but in other ways, we have a lot more conversation that will need to ensue to determine if we want to back up and change our whole plan, perhaps. So just looking forward to continued conversation there. Also looking forward to the opportunity to be at the Florida School Board Association Conference this week. There will be lots of valuable information that is shared, including the legislative update. So if you all aren't planning to go to that one, consider going and hearing Dr. Thomas and the team from there talking about legislative priorities. We've had conversation from the legislative committee about bills that are coming out and that where they already are, and all the feedback that we might want to present there. And with that, I just want to say, I know that there wouldn't be very many students that would be listening today, but we do have just a few more weeks left that really are going to impact your semester grade. So do everything you can to make that semester grade great, because that's really what counts, especially at the high school level, and it can impact your future plans. So do all that you can to make it great. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Board Member Campbell. Board Member Cummings.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back this Monday. Hope everyone as well had a good holiday, good Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be grateful and thankful for. As Board Member Campbell just said, I want to encourage these kids to make sure they finish strong as we're heading into the last part of this semester, right before the holiday break, to not get lackadaisical and to push through these next few weeks before winter break. I do also, because of the conversation we keep having with the impact fees, I do want to thank the city, the county, and our school district in the conversations, the collaborative conversations that we've been having in dealing with these impact fees and the studies and things. We know that this is not just a school board issue. This is a county issue. This affects our whole county. So I'm appreciative to all those other entities that are working hard with us to get this across the finish line. I do think we're closer than we've ever been before, and I'm hoping that it's going to materialize very, very soon, and we'll be down the road on this, and we'll be doing what's best for Marion County. But again, I look forward to this week of networking, of training that we get at the School Board Association. Oftentimes people think it's just a party. It's really an opportunity to get some great information that's useful for our district and our schools. So I'm looking forward to that. Guys, be safe on the road. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Board Member Cummings. Board Member James.
Thank you. I, again, hope everyone had a beautiful Thanksgiving opportunity to spend some time with family and check out from our school board responsibilities and just enjoy time to take a breath and enjoy our fellowship with our family. I got to go to WEC on Saturday. The Black Stallion Project was there doing a event, and saw lots of our students and some of our principals. I was there with my children, and we got to see the Dog and Pony Show, which if you guys haven't seen it is adorable. The cutest little Jack Russell and little ponies. But it was a beautiful event, and always grateful for what the Ocala Horse Alliance does for our schools and our communities and our kids, teaching them about the equestrian field and all of the things that it has to offer. So they always do such a wonderful job. I am grateful that we have hopefully come to a consensus among municipalities for the impact fee. It's been a long time coming, but I'm looking forward to getting this, I think, finally actually buttoned up, and we're able to move forward and hopefully be collecting some impact fees by the time summer comes. And I think that's all I have for now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Board Member James. Vice Chair Conrad.
Yes, I just want to say good morning to everyone, and looking at just a real quick comment on our salary scale, I'm just excited to see raises for our admin teams. You know, when you visit the schools and we talk about the performance and the job and the responsibility that everybody has, that those jobs are just never ending. And so I'm happy and excited to see an increase for our admin team. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I'm also feeling very optimistic, more than I have in several months, about where we are with our impact fee. So thank you for that update. Dr. Gullett, thank you for helping us get to the table, to get everyone to the table so we can move forward on this. I think the whole community knows that the need is there. We've kind of taken a bumpy road to get where we need to go and get the funding that we need. So I too, as expressed by every other board member, am thankful that everyone is coming to the table and working together so we can reach the finish line. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Conrad, and I sure concur. You know, we're having to learn how to work with each other, you know, and how to communicate with each other, and it's all about, you know, getting the right people to the right table for the right reasons, and we're doing that, and I'm grateful. I also want to echo the Ocala Horse Alliance and WEC and the Black Stallion Literacy Project. It's just another example of hundreds of students having exposure to opportunities that are available in this community, and that's what we're all about, you know, making sure that each and every child has the opportunity to do something great within their education and take it forward. And it's always wonderful if you can get paid to engage in whatever your passion is. So I'm very grateful for that partnership as well. I hope everyone enjoyed their week-long Thanksgiving break. It really was wonderful to spend time with family and friends, and hopefully getting some relaxation in, and beginning to look ahead to the whole holiday season, which sure is a lot of fun. I know our calendars are packed with a lot of fun and festive things to do, so it's going to be great. With that in mind, just a couple of quick parade updates. I need to let you know that I will not be able to participate in the Bellevue Christmas Parade. There'll be more information forthcoming about what time we need to be at each parade and where to meet and so on. Principal McAteer out at Dunellen Middle School was kind enough to be our representative to go to Dunellen to find out our position in the parade, because we're not going to be able to go to that meeting, and so that will be taken care of, and I'll share that information when we get it. I know the Ocala Christmas Parade, the organizers like us to get there, you know, early because they close the roads, and I believe the parade starts at 5:30, if I'm not mistaken, so I think they usually like to try to see us there by 4. So I'll share more information as it gets a little bit closer to the time, and I know you guys have all those parades on your calendars, and my understanding is just about all of us are going to be able to attend, all of them, as far as I know. So that's great. And we have a new banner coming, according to my understanding. So hopefully, I know that'll look great, and we'll keep good track of it. And that's really all I have. So if there's nothing further, let's make a motion to adjourn.
No, I just wanted to say, since this is our a meeting before this is going to happen, but I just want to say congratulations to Vanguard Knights regional football champs. Thought you might mention that, Chair Thrower, so I didn't bring that up, but just wanted to say congrats, Vanguard Knights, and go Knights.
Absolutely. Vanguard is really doing great. Their cross-country team as well for decades has just been stellar. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see them here sometime in the near future. But absolutely, you know, Coach Farmer runs a great program, and best of luck to the football Knights for their next game. Did you have something?
I did. Did you?
No.
Oh, I just want to make sure, and I guess, Ms. Martinez, is this because of the parades, we need to advertise all those, each parade separately, or
I believe we'd already done a,
We have standard language that does indicate that for ceremonial public events, that board members may be in the same place, obviously not discussing any board business, but
Okay.
they're just for ceremonial public events. We have language that's standard on our website regarding that.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, because I think we did add that to the website because of our parade participation, which is
Yes, ma'am.
really a great thing for the community. I know we enjoy it, and the community enjoys seeing us. We got a lot of great feedback last year. It was fun. All right, anything else for the good of the cause? All right, hearing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Board Member James, second by Board Member Cummings. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 9:33 a.m. Thank you.